Listen, y'all, it's some things going on in here that I I didn't intend to happen, but it is me. It is me. You girl Laborley, aka Cat Lee. And today is definitely Media Monday. Today we came to talk about all of the things that are going on in the media. What's happening? What's we just need to know. So I'm excited about it. But let me put this back on the screen just for those who are watching and not listening. Today is Media Monday. Today is the day that we go through all of the things that are happening in the media that we can go through because time we're working on time. But listen here, hold on. There's some things I have to do um to get us right in our life. We don't we don't be out here moving any kind of way. We don't. So I need to make sure that I have everything moving appropriately. So I got it together. All right, so it's a lot going on this Media Monday. Um There's a lot going on. It's so much going on. So we're going to talk about it, but before we get into that, there are a few things that I have to say, baby. There's some things that I have to say. I love you guys first and foremost. Know that I love you. Oh, I love you so much. Oh my gosh, I love you so much. Thank you for coming and tuning into this show. Um, you don't have to, but you do, and I appreciate you so much. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe to this podcast. And if you would like to donate, $ capital LURLUCIDITY. I'm gonna put that on the screen eventually, but not right now. Because it's not about that. It's just we gotta talk about what's on the Gab beat. Um, so it is what it is. I am tonight not doing the phone line because nobody ever calls in anyway. So I'm not doing the phone line tonight. But you can like, share, and subscribe. You can comment. You can make it. Yeah, let's go. Let me do a quick commercial. I'll be right. Let's tune into this commercial break really, really quickly, and I'll be right back. I promise. I'll be right back. What's good, my ambitious ones? I am here because Savage Fenty is offering up something extraordinary. You get 2 for $29 bras and 50% off other items for new VIP members. You heard me. 2 bras for $29 plus 50% off of other items for new VIP memberships. I mean, you can't beat that. So listen, this is major news for me. I don't know if it's major news for you, but it's some news for you, but it's major news for me. Anytime that a journalist has any situation is major news for me. So let's get to it. I felt like I should be live and direct tonight about the news that we're talking about. Don Lemon. Don Lemon. Um, it's major for me because this is journalistic. It's a fellow journalist, and so it's major to me. Let's get into it. So, Don Lemon has been fired from CNN, which is crazy to me because I've always seen him on CNN, right? So let's get into it. Don Lemon is out of CNN after 17 years at the network. Um, a move he says he never had was given a heads up on, so they didn't tell him that they were letting him go, which I'll get to it in a minute. I'm gonna say all of the things that I want to say at the end of this, but In a statement today, Don Lemon said, I was informed this morning by my agent that I was being terminated from CNN. I'm stunned. After 17 years with CNN, I would have thought that someone in management would have had the decency to tell me directly. He continues, at no time um was I ever given any indication that I would know what that I would not be able to continue my work that I loved with the network, and it's clear that there are larger issues to in at play. Mm, mm. Finally saying, well, let me make sure that I got everything because I don't want to miss anything. This is major. Um, okay, I'm sorry, y'all. I didn't mean for that to happen. I'm finally saying, with that being said, I want to thank my colleagues and any teams I have worked with for incredible with for and with this incredible run. They are the most talented journalists in the business, and I wish them the best. Dawn was on air Monday morning, which was this morning, without a hint of anything. Um, Nobody told him anything this morning. And ending his show with bye everyone. So they kind of, oh, that's kind of dirty. I hate when they do it like that. The move comes just 2 months after Lemon was benched briefly for sexist comments he made about Nikki Haley, when he said she was no longer in her prime at 51. Darn. Ah, damn, y'all. Like, listen, it's more to say. Um, it's more to say. I just wanted to make sure I got everything according. He was recently caught on a hot mic making comments about Jon Stewart. What? About Jon Stewart. However, it seems the incident had both cooled off on the network. Oh my gosh, not Jon Stewart. Unclear if it was something more happening behind the scenes. So here's what I want to say about the Don Lemon situation. One is he is our brother, um, despite whether whoever feels about whatever. As a journalist, it moves me a little bit. This is why I move in the section of building my own without anybody being responsible for what it is that I do in my syndicate. I'm building my own syndicate and I don't need nobody else telling me what to do with it. Um Damn, yo. Don't let me. I've been watching it's certain media outlets that I watch. I have been watching for years, like MSNBC, CNN, and others. Not Fox though. Well, Fox in the morning. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I watch because Fox in my hometown, like they kind of give accurate news about what's going down in my hometown. So I watch it in the morning when I first wake up. That's what I wake up to. But I don't watch which is something that I want to talk about because also um oh my gosh, I have so much to talk about. Let me get it. I think me just I want to make sure that I give you guys accurate news. I don't want to give you anything that's not accurate. So I believe that no. I'm not lying and I'm not giving false news. That's just not what I do over here. But I believe also in today's media, Tucker Carlson also left Fox. Hold on. Let me just make sure. Let me just make sure so that I'm not. I believe he got fired for. So yeah, Tucker Carlson also was removed from Fox. What is going on? So listen. So Tucker Carlson also was removed from Fox today. So what I want to just go through between both situations because we had Don Lemon and then we had the Tucker Carlson situation happen at Fox. Was that a negotiation? Was that a situation where they was like, okay, you do this and I do that? That happens in the media world. And so I'm just trying to figure out what the fuck is going on. Tucker got fired today. Don Lemon got fired today. What happened? So if you give me one, I give you one. I don't know what happened, but Tucker got fired today. Don got fired today, and it's crazy in my mind. Do I believe that Tucker should have been fired a long time ago? Of course the fuck I do, because he says a lot of crazy stuff. Do I believe that Don should have gotten fired today? Maybe. He says crazy things every now and again himself, especially like just read where he was talking about women being at their prime at 51. I have not reached 51 yet, but at 51 I totally let me get my hair right. I totally at 51 um believe that I'm gonna be a hot grandma. I do, and I'm not even gonna be a grandma. My daughter just told me today that she didn't want to make me a grandma, and it was just like, what? So I'm not gonna have grandchildren? Maybe, because she said maybe. Um, but there are some things that you should not be saying, and I'm not getting on Tucker tonight. I have a lot of things to say about Tucker, but I'm not getting on Tucker tonight. I'm gonna get on Don. There are some things that you should not say about women of a certain age. You just shouldn't say them. Um, in our 40s, we can still have babies. We absolutely, I'm 43 and I'm very much still fertile. Very much still fertile. Um, I only have one, but I'm very much still fertile. I can still have babies, and it is what it is. I need people to stop putting us in this category where they feel like, oh, you're a certain age, so you can't do this. I can still. I'm very much still fertile. I can still listen. At one point in time, there was uh, um a age where there were women who weren't having kids in their 20s necessarily, but 30s and 40s for real. So stop playing with us with our age. And I feel like the 51 statement was a issue for Dawn. Yes, I do feel like that. you can't you you are working with executives in a higher ranking, and some of those ladies, because there are lady executives, so you don't ever get it messed up. Who There are ladies who are executives in their 50s. They can still have babies. We can still have babies in our 50s. It's just how our bodies work. I'm very healthy, so much I'm very much active as far as my doctors. I can still have babies. And so as long as I keep my body healthy, I can still have babies. You people go out here and you speak about things that you do not know. Hold on, we got a comment. I'm a MILF. Ew, I'm a MILF. People keep telling me that, and I don't know how I feel about that. But thanks, babes. I'm a MILF. Ew. But know this: women from 30 to 50 can still have babies if they want to. Do I want to? No, I want a jet set. I want when my daughter, by the time, and we just had this conversation this morning about how old she would be by the time, well, how old I would be by the time she made it to 21. I would be in my 50s and I can still have freaking babies. Do I want to? Not necessarily. I'm trying to jet set. I'm trying to do all the things on my bucket list that I have not done. I got pregnant with my daughter when I was 32. So you know that it's not, there's not, you guys can keep having babies until you're in your 80s, right? For us, it's more like 30s, 40s, 50s, maybe 60s if you want to chance it, right? I don't want to chance it. I don't want to chance it. But there is the opportunity to keep having babies long for us as long as our bodies are healthy. I keep my body healthy. I walk. I try to walk 8 miles every day. Sometimes I don't necessarily get to it, but I work out. So and I'm a MILF. Thanks, Boo. But I need people to stop thinking that because we are of a certain age, that I'm sorry, I'm taking this off the screen, that we are, because we're of a certain age, that we can't do the things that what y'all think these young broads can do. We can, and we do it better. But Don Lemon, I think that was your demise once you started talking about older women, and I'm not in the age bracket yet, but I feel like that was his demise. Tucker Carlson, I don't know because I don't watch what they got going on over there at Fox Media, but I do know that I do feel like maybe it was a trade a little bit, just a little bit. All right, we'll fire him if you fire him. And that's what I felt like what happened. I don't know if that's what happened, but yeah, so that's what's going on with that. It's a lot going on in the media right now. And I love you guys, so let's get into it. Ooh, Kanye might be a little bit happy right now because I feel like this is his arch nemesis. So they're talking about really bringing up charges against Pete Davidson. Now, I don't know if I told y'all this a long time ago. I feel like Pete has a lot of different things in him as far as nationalities. I've been saying this for a long time. I'm not gonna play with y'all. I'm not gonna fake with y'all like I've been saying this for a minute. And it's a I don't wanted to seem racist, but it, maybe it was his lips. It's his look for me. It's all of him, but I know that he's Jewish, so it is what it is. But Pete Davidson, he had a late night car crash that resulted in serious injuries, but it doesn't mean that the comedian is getting off scot free because it's been reported that he is now facing the possibility of criminal charges as a result of the incident. So if you don't know what happened, we got. Oh, I thought I got all the comments, baby. Oh, somebody. Oh, I did, because he said I was a MILF. Hey. But anyway, so if you don't know, he got into a car accident. The car accident was actually him crashing into a house. Him, let's get into it. I got so much to say about this. I do. Law enforcement sources say that a Beverly Hills incident. So it was a Beverly Hills incident, but the Beverly Hills Police Department recently wrapped up the investigation and sent the case over to the LA County District Attorney's Office to determine whether or not Pete Davidson will be charged in the crash. So, as first reported, drugs, narcotic, and alcohol were ruled out in the factors in the mishap, but everybody knows that Pete was traveling at a high rate of speed when he crashed. Um, so you gotta imagine, at the very least, it was reckless driving charges. But so it was a whole incident. He crashed into a house. Him and it was somebody else in the car. I can't remember who was in the car, but um, he's not clear in the situation. Somebody else was in the car, but he was driving. So here's my thing. Um, and I hate to bring race into it, but if that had been a black man, that would never have been cleared. Let that have been Chris Brown, he would be in jail right now. So because it was Pete, it happened, and he had a co-driver or whatever. I hate that they keep telling me that it wasn't drug related because it's Pete. I don't feel like it was not drug related. I don't. I don't. How do you crash into somebody's house? I'm a very civil. I'm a civilian. I don't be out here breaking laws. I don't do that. How the I'm trying to work on clearing my potty mouth, so I'm not gonna cuss tonight, but how the freak do you crash into somebody's house without being intoxicated? How do you crash into somebody's house without being under the influence? I can never say what Pete was under the influence of, but he crashed into somebody's house. How does that happen without you being under the influence? I don't believe it. I feel like the powers that be was like, all right, we're gonna work on whatever, but Pete, you're not going to jail. But Pete, you're gonna have to work long and hard for a minute, baby, to get out of the debt of the powers that be. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. You're gonna work long and hard to get out of the debt of the powers that be. I gotta go to. You're not gonna tell me that it was okay. I'm gonna go to a quick commercial really quick. I'm sorry, y'all, but he's not. Pete, you're not. Okay, I can't do it this way because it's taking too long. I'll be right back. I will be back. Pete, you're not gonna tell me that you weren't under the influence, and they're not gonna tell me that you weren't under the influence, bruh. Kanye happy is very happy though, because you will never be around his kids again. I'm going to a quick commercial break. I'll be right back. Commercial. Hello, Fresh. Let's go. What a time to be alive. I repeat, what a time to be alive. Did you know that you could get fresh ingredients along with beautiful recipes delivered to your door? Did you know that? Wow, you can get 21 free meals plus free shipping and 3 free gifts when you use the code HelloFresh21. The link is in the description. Again, use the code HelloFresh21 to get 21 free meals plus free shipping plus 3 free gifts. I'm telling you. It's time to get healthy, y'all. It's definitely time to get healthy. Y'all not gonna tell me that Pete wasn't under the influence. I can't believe that, and I won't believe that. I will never, ever in my life believe that Pete wasn't under the influence. I love Pete Davidson though. I got a different kind of love for him though. So let's get into. I want to dive into some sports really, really quick. This one messed me up. Because this is, in my opinion, one of the greatest coaches of all times. I don't care what you say. I can't even do the whistle. Phil Jackson, let's get into him. So he said he hasn't watched an NBA game since 2020. Because y'all know I got to throw it back to sports every now and again. When when it went into the bubble of playoffs and, you know, policy, publicity and supported Black Lives Matter, Phil Jackson is the greatest coach of all time. I don't care what nobody say. And I might be a little biased. I might be a little biased because he did coach one of my favorite teams of all times, which is the Lakers. So I might be a little bit biased, but the iconic head coach who has 11 championships under his belt. He can't even, he filled all of his fingers in a toe. From the 90s through the early 2010s between the Bulls and the Lakers, because Phil is the greatest. He's the greatest, man. Okay. Between the Bulls and the Lakers, he sat down with Rick Rubin earlier this month on a podcast, because podcasts are popping, um, which is making his rounds now. Cause hold on, I might can pull up. I feel like I can pull up some audio, but we'll see. Hold on. So Rick Rubin from Def Jam has a podcast now. Yay, Rick Rubin. I need to talk to him. So the podcast that Phil Jackson sat down with, which it makes sense, Rick Rubin, Phil, it makes a lot of sense. Rick asks Phil if he watches NBA basketball to this day in the wake of retiring in 2011. Oh, I hated that. I love I love Phil. This is one of my favorite coaches of all times, but whatever. So Phil says he kept his eye on the game only until 2020. When asked why, Phil says the NBA did something wanky in Orlando, naming Lee getting mixed up in politics, which is a bunch of shenanigans on the court, and on the jerseys of the players themselves. He never says Black Lives Matter, but there's no doubt that he's talking about it here. He's even kind of mocks saying he joked about it from home with his family. Listen, nobody in this entire earth, I don't care what you say, how you feel about this man. I don't care. Phil Jackson, in my opinion, is the greatest NBA coach of all times. He went from Chicago to LA and he killed the game. That man has 11 freaking rings. He's worked with. I'm shutting it up. I try not to go too far into how I feel about the sports, but if you ask me, no, I don't want to say he's the greatest because there are a lot of great coaches within the NBA, right? And your girl here is very much in touch with the NBA, right? And the NFL. Two sports I love with my whole heart. I will never let go of those two sports, the NBA and the NFL. I love those. But when it comes to the NBA, I have my coaches, but Phil Jackson, I can't, I can't do it. But Phil Jackson is one of the greatest, in my opinion. And there are a lot of great, amazing coaches within the NBA. But I love Phil Jackson. I love him so. I love him so much. I love. Oh, Phil. If I could ever, I don't even want to. I don't want you to work on my business or none. I just want to just sit down and have a dinner with him. He is one of the greatest coaches, in my opinion, of all times. He did Chicago, he did LA, and he won. He has 11 fucking rings. I'm trying to work on my cussing, but obviously when it comes to Phil Jackson, I can't. I love Phil Jackson. He coached some of the freaking greats. I love Phil Jackson. The fact that he's not watching games right now is just crazy to me. Oh, Phil. I've been working on this for a minute, Phil. Because he used to. I don't know if he can still do it, but I can't do it. Phil, I love you. I love you, Phil Jackson. One of the best coaches, in my opinions, of all. Y'all know I watch. I can't. The triangle. Listen, I love Phil Jackson. Anyway, let's get back into some sports. So let's talk about my hometown. Javante, baby. Oh, he went style. I love that he gave the purse back, though. So if you don't know, Javante won the fight this weekend. Hey, Tank, in the 7th round. I like it with a body shot. But y'all talk about that body shot. Let's talk about that nose and whatever. So he was fighting Ryan Garcia this weekend. There was a lot going down with the Ryan Garcia thing, and some of you may not know, but him and Ryan had a whole bet, the whole purse. So Tank said that he would bet his purse, and Ryan said he would bet his purse, and then about who was gonna win this fight, and Ryan said he was gonna win. Ryan didn't win. But the beautiful thing that I love about what happened this weekend is that even though Tank won, because it's a Baltimore thing, he gave that man his purse anyway. He didn't take that man purse because he won a lot of money. But Tank did win this weekend. If you follow me on social media, I've put a few little dib dabs because I'm trying to watch my mouth. I didn't do too well today, but little dib dabs, a little media coverage here and there about the fight. But yeah, seventh round. Boosie said he told y'all he was the prophet, and why y'all playing with him? Well, yeah, Tank won this weekend. So I think that covers, maybe, let me just make sure that covers all of my sports talk. I did have some things that I wanted to talk about sports wise. Okay, that covered my sports talk. So we're going to go to another commercial. I'll be right back. What they're offering might just have you in the mood to get naked. Flex offers $100 off a six-pack of wine for $39.99, including shipping. Again, the offer is $100 off of a six-pack of wine for $39.99 with shipping included. These are not small bottles of wine. These are your normal size bottles of wine, and you're guaranteed to fill your wine cellar or have a really good time. Get it now, y'all. Get it. Y'all, I gotta bring this back up. Hold up. Little Rock 2517. Thank you. I don't know how I feel about, you spend a lot of your lifetime being a teenager and then a young adult, and then you grow up and you I don't know how I feel about this. Is the second time that I've been called a MILF, dude. I don't know how I feel about that, but thanks. I mean, I feel good about it. That mean I'm cute. That means I'm cute. Hey boo. But just weird it out. And my kid is only 11, but I'm 43, so maybe I'm a MILF. Thanks. Okay, maybe I'm a MILF. I guess I'm a MILF. I guess I'm a MILF. I guess I gotta accept that I'm a freaking MILF. But whatever. So let's get into what we got on the agenda from here. So, as a MILF, we want to take our children on vacations, right? We want to make sure that our children have the best vacations ever. I do anyway. I want my daughter to have all the experiences. She's had some experiences. I still have to take her to Disney, but I don't know if I want to take her to, well, maybe I'll take her to Disney World, but not necessarily Disneyland. And Cali, I want to totally be there, but listen, it's in the Anaheim, so let's go. So the Tom Sawyer dragon goes up in flames. Let's talk about it. Gosh, I'm so. There's so many places that I want to take my daughter, but I don't know now about the Disneyland. Should I take her to Disney World? I don't know. So anyway, folks in Disneyland got extra Saturday night this Saturday as they watched the Tom Sawyer Island go up in flames. Oh my gosh, it was crazy. I watched it. It went down as park goers were on, and they were in their zone. They were just enjoying the situation because you think it's Disneyland. You want to be there, you want to have a good time. So they were having a good time and enjoying the fantastic light show from the Tom Sawyer Island. Suddenly the head of the 45-foot tall animatronic dragon erupted into a fireball and the flames began to spread. How dramatic is that? I don't want my baby saying that. She would cry. I have a soft prince. She would totally cry. And I don't even want her to be engaged. I don't even want her to cry. I mean, I get sad when I fuss at her and she gets sad. So just imagine your child is at this specific theme park, right? And then the dragon goes up into flames. My baby would be scared. She would be absolutely scared. And I would get her out of there, but I also would be just traumatized that she would be that scared. You feel me? Cast members were at the ready and quickly so all the cast members were evacuated. Around 1,000 people from the area were also evacuated. No one was hurt, thank God. Thank you, Most High, that no one was hurt. But clearly, there was extensive property damage. I can't imagine taking my kids to. There are so many things that I try to shield my child from. I don't want her to be in a situation where she is petrified. Like I just can't imagine that for her. And she's 11 going on 12, but I still can't imagine that for her. I would never imagine that for her. And it's terrifying in my heart because I got I got a proposal from Dale at Disney World. I'm I literally asked my mom, asked my sister, asked my dad. We went to Disney World and Dale from Chip and Dale proposed to me. I don't know who was in that costume. I have no clue, but he proposed to me. He got on one knee and he proposed to me. That was extraordinary to me. I'm like, what? I don't know who's in that. I don't know. I was 19. I don't know. But I got proposed to at Disney World from Dale from Chip and Dale, and it was extraordinary. The fire started toward the end of the show when Mickey Mouse was fighting the fire-breathing dragon from Maleficent. Not Maleficent. Maleficent. The fire breath engulfed the dragon's head and then spread it from the rest of the body. I saw it. I watched it on video. It was catastrophic to me. As somebody who has been to Disney World, um, it terrified me. It did. It did. So let's get into the next thing. It terrified me. Oh my gosh. I was like, what? How do I take my baby to Disney World? Oh, what time we at? Because I gotta show love. But how do I take my baby to Disney and stuff is catching on fire? So there was a man. Let me get my quick topic. If I can do this real quick. Can I do this real quick? I don't know. So a man passed away on the celebrity cruises. His wife is suing right now because she feels like they did not. Oh, and that scares me too. Oh my gosh, that scares me. If you're on a cruise and somebody dies, is their remains going to be properly stored? And so what she's saying is it was not properly stored. They put them in the freezer. They didn't put them in the morgue. And yeah, that was that. Designer charged for allegedly exposing himself, pleasuring himself on an airplane. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. With this designer situation, I always felt like he already had issues, and I feel like this celebrity life is not for everybody. But let me get into yo, I swear, designer, and like if you watch Wild 'N Out, the couple of times he's been on there, he didn't seem like he was all the way right. I try not to judge people, but people deal with mental health issues, and he's always one that I've always felt like he was dealing with something beyond the music world. And then whatever you got going on in the music world, and then you incorporate that into your mental health, I feel like it drives you crazy. And so I pray for the designer, because I don't feel like he was all right. I just pray for him. I didn't never feel like he was Listen to how he raps. It sound like Future, but it didn't sound like Future. It sound like never mind. I'm gonna shut up. I'm gonna shut up right now at this moment because I don't want to say things that offends him. But I didn't feel like he was all the way right anyway before the situation. But now he's been arrested for exposing himself on a plane, and they charged him. So it is what it is. Oh my freaking goodness! I gotta show love to my listeners. Listen, I've been trying to figure out. No, let me before I get to my babies, my other babies. Let me get to these babies. I want to shout out anybody who's watched the show from Twitch, YouTube, Facebook. I love you. Thank you. Um, Little Rock 2517. Thank you for calling me a MILF, even though I don't know. Oh, I don't know. Whatever. Dude. But thank you, babes. Thanks. You're saying I'm hot, so I don't want to be too personal about it, but as us older ladies get older, we're weirded out about being called certain types of names. But thank you for telling me I'm hot, babes. Hey, thank you for telling me I'm hot. Anyway, so thanks. I want to show love to my listening audience. I am trying to look for a way to be able to engage with you guys a little bit. I want to know why you guys listen to the show, those who listen to the show, because we have a little I won't say a little, we got a good audience. And so I just want to know what gravitates you to this show. So if you could shoot me an email at, hold on, let me put that. Well, you can't see it. Ambitiously the podcast. Ambitiously is spelled just as the way that you hear it, the podcast at gmail.com. Please let me know what makes you listen to this podcast, what gravitated you towards this podcast, because we have a nice listening audience. And so I'm going to show love to them really, really quickly because I love them so much. My top six. The United States, France, India, Germany, uh, the UK, and Belgium. I got everybody. So the United States, France, India, Germany, the UK, and Belgium. You guys download the most, and I appreciate you so much. I love you guys. There are some of these countries that I just mentioned that I would totally love to get there. I would like to do a tour. But we're not in that space just yet. But I would love to do it. Oh man, I would love to do a tour. I would love to go to these countries and sit down and talk to some of these people who engage and who really listen to this podcast. I love you guys. I love you guys so much. I do. I love you so much, and thank you for listening. But there are others that listen to this podcast as well. And I don't want you guys to ever think that I love you any less. I love all of you equally. It's just those six download the most. And I appreciate them so much for doing so. Thank you guys. But I don't love any of you any less. So I'm gonna go through the whole list of countries because that's what I do at the end of this podcast. I just show love to everybody that show love to me. So Brazil, the Netherlands, Singapore, South Africa, Spain, the Philippines, Australia, Japan, Mexico, Ireland, Nepal, Mauritius, Israel, Canada, Hong Kong. Hong Kong, I love you. Yeah, man. Y'all don't know how much I love y'all. Man, you have no clue. Russia, I don't know how that happened, but I love you, man. I love you. China, definitely don't know how that happened, but I love you so much. Poland, don't know how that happened either. Tunisia, Venezuela, Pakistan, Romania, Kenya. Ho ho ho! I'm not done. Um, Switzerland, Turkey, Austria, Venezuela, Switzerland. Hold, I want to make sure I get everybody, man. Switzerland, I got you. Indonesia, hi babies. I love you too. Don't ever get it twisted. I love you. Oh, thank you. I love you so much. Hold on. So, Indonesia, Canada, Turkey, Kenya, Pakistan, Romania, South Africa. Oh, I'm not done. I just want to make sure I get everybody on the list, y'all. I love y'all so much, and I appreciate y'all so much. And so I just try to make sure that I'm so, oh my gosh, I love you guys so much. I try to make sure that I mention everybody from every country that listens to this podcast. Some come back, some don't, but I love you guys. In Nigeria, period. I love you guys. Thank you so much for listening to this podcast. You don't have to, but you do. And so I appreciate you guys so much. Those that watch this podcast, you don't have to, but you do. And I appreciate you so much. And I want you to know how much I love you guys. Thank you for listening and watching this podcast. I'm trying to do something over here. I don't know what I'm trying to do, but I'm trying to do something over here. And you guys help me do whatever it is I'm over here trying to do. So I love you guys. Thank you. You're extraordinary. So there are some things that I always run through before I finish this podcast. I love you. You guys are great. Oh my gosh, I love you. Um, First things first. If you would like to come on the show, if you're promoting a business, if you want advertisement, if you have suggestions, or you just want to come on and kick it with me, ambitiouslythepodcast@gmail.com. Shoot me an email and I will make sure everything is handled the way it's supposed to be handled. You can always I didn't do it tonight, but you can always join the conversation, join the phone line 443-850 443-850-4828 443-850-4828. You can drop a comment. Somebody called me a MILF tonight. Or you can ask me to drop a link and I will, as long as you are on your best behavior. I don't want no nudity or anything on my I don't want that here. That's not what we represent. If I play a video, know that I have permission to play it. I would not play it if I did not have permission. If you want to catch me on any social media platform, IG, it's Miss underscore ambitiously ENT. Facebook at ambitiously, YouTube ambitiously the podcast. You can check us everywhere. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Check out our website www.ambitiously.entertainment.com. Please make sure you do. Hey, make sure you do. If you would like to donate to this podcast, $ Cash App, $ capital LURLUCIDITY, capital L, and the rest are lowercase. URLUCID LURLUCID. I can't even get it up. You say it at the bottom screen. I can't even get it up. I'm changing that though, so that you guys will everybody will feel included. So we're doing something, and I will announce it when I need to announce it. But we're doing something for our visual audience, and then we're doing something different for our listening audience. So yeah, just stay tuned and listen out if you would like to donate. We do have a Patreon, ambitiously ENT. So patreon.com/ambitiously ENT. And then we also have another situation going on. It's called View It. We have a channel on View It where we get to kind of do everything that we want to do. The reason why we're doing Patreon and View It is because I'm tired of censure. I don't want to be censored. Sorry. I want to be, even though I'm trying to watch my potty mouth, I want to be able to talk about all of the things that that are important to us. So it is what it is. Where we at on time? Ooh, I did good, y'all. I did good. I love you guys so much. So you were extraordinary. So I gotta get to the things that I naturally say at the end of this podcast because these are the things that I say at the end of this podcast. First things first, mind your business, except for on Media Mondays. Come here on Media Mondays, check out the podcast, be nosy with me because we're on the Gab beat. We are on it. So come here Media Mondays. We will talk about everything on the Gab beat. You can be nosy on Media Mondays. But otherwise, mind your business. Mind your business. It's a dangerous game out here. People are crazy. So just mind your business. Staying in your lane and minding your business are two different things. Let me get to that. But I have to talk about the children. Because Wu-Tang love the kids. And ambitiously love the kids too. Encourage them to be great. Encourage them to be the best that they can ever be because they need us for that. If they want to work for NASA, then tell them be the best astronaut, engineer, secretary, janitor, or whatever else they do at NASA. I don't know. I've never worked there. If they want to work for NASCAR, tell them to be the best pit boss, NASCAR driver, commentator, and whatever else they do at NASCAR. But whatever it is, just tell them to be the greatest that they can be. I talk to children every morning, and I love it. um the encouragement is real, and in my mind they may not get it at home, but they're gonna get it with me before they walk in the school building. So I do that every morning. I talk to these children and I tell them that they are great, the greatest of all times, and I need y'all to do it too. Last but not least, staying in, no, that's not last but not least. I got something else for that. But stay in lane. Everybody's lane. Hold, I gotta fix this. Everybody's lane is not your lane. Sometimes people just jump in lanes that have nothing to do with them. I get it. Your emotions are involved. But stay in your lane. Stay in your lane. You jump in my lane, you get her. Hold up. You don't want her. She's not a nice person. You want her. She's sweet, cuddly, and cute. She's adorable, and you want her. Or at least her. Cause baby, when I'm purring, I'm happy. It's a different lane. When I'm purring, I'm happy. But you don't want the first one. She's ugly, and I never encourage anybody to wake her up. But stay in lane, staying in your lane, and minding your business is two different things. Being nosy, so you can from afar. In somebody else's lane, you just embedded yourself in something that you had nothing to do with. So stay in your lane. And plus, when you jump in other people's lanes, what happens is a collision. Who needs a collision? Nobody needs a collision. Nobody needs a collision. Just stay in your lane. That's it. And last but not least, pick your battles wisely. Every battle is not your battle. Everything that you do out here in this world is not, every battle is not yours. So just choose wisely. Um, and remember to win the war, not the battle. So yeah, with that being said, I got to get out of here. I love you guys. Thank you for whoever. Dang, I forgot. Hold on, let me pull him back on the screen. Little Rock 2517. Thank you for calling me a MILF. I think. I don't know how I feel about. I don't know if I want to be a MILF. I guess I gotta grow into my MILFhood. I got. I got. That's the second time I've been called a MILF. I think that I should consider that a good thing. That means I look good. Cause if y'all don't know, I got a cuss. Dang, I'm trying to work on my cussing. But if you don't know, a MILF is a mom I'd like to. Beep, beep, beep. I'm not. I'm not gonna say. I'm trying to get better with my curse words. But so I guess I should take it as a compliment. I guess. Thanks. Hey, boo. Thank you for calling me a MILF. I guess I don't. I guess the older I get, I don't. Whatever. But I gotta get out of here. I love you guys. Be safe. Stay out of trouble. Mind your business. Stay in your lane. Love your babies. Good night. Bye, babies.